Same seats, same seats, same mates. Every other week, scarf up, heads high. Hear the cockerel speak. White and blue in my blood, in my name. Born and bred for.
White and blue running through my veins. On the pitch where the glory remains. The cockerel stands brave on the crest. North London pride, this ain't no jest. From lane to the new shining ground. Echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time. We march on through grit and grime. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham, till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham, till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Oh, Tottenham, Tottenham, till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Yes, guys, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome to THFC Till We Die, your home of top, past, present, and the exciting future, of course, on the Robert De Zerbi. And tonight's not a transfer stream. Tonight is not a stream that I normally would do. Tonight's about giving out about an organisation, and I think in general, half the Premier League, that are having a go at Tottenham. And me and Billy, we've had enough of it. We've had a gutful of it. So I will be calling out a few talkSPORT presenters. I will be telling them what I think of them. And if they want to debate me, you know where I am. Emails in the description below, talkSPORT. If you're watching, email me. And I love to go on. Me and Billy will both go on talkSPORT and we will put some of them people in their places. But Billy, how are you this evening, sir?
Yeah, good, mate. Very hot, boiling hot, but yeah, all good.
Yeah,
How are you, my
is
friends?
here as well. Yeah, I'm fine. It's warm over here. I feel tired. I think I'm glad there's no World Cup today. I think we can have a day's rest from World Cup. Look, we will talk about the World Cup tomorrow in the podcast to coming on. But tonight's about a lot of the narratives that's been going around the last few weeks about Tottenham, Billy. So where we're going to start with this is we're going to start with what was said on talkSPORT the other day from the finance guru, Stefan Borson, clearly explains how Tottenham Hotspur are able to spend big money this summer. And it goes on to say they've spent too little for quite a long time. So they've got to the point where they're underspending on wages in particular, and they were being very prudent in their transfer market. From a PSR perspective, there is no issues. They've got lots of capacity there because they're not in the Europe. They got an 85% cap. No UEFA test at all. Next season, that makes that a little bit easier. It's really not hard to understand, yet some pretend they don't. And it's the last bit that's got me, Billy. Where do you want to start in this? Because I tell you one thing, I watch a lot of talkSPORT. I love watching Jim White and Simon Jordan. And believe it or not a lot of hate's going this onto Simon Jordan that I will pick up by what he said last week. But where you want it, Billy, with the rest of the Premier League, like a Newcastle, like Villa, having a go at us, and like Arsenal, like what rules are Tottenham breaking? And you got the Man City thing that hasn't been sorted out. We know Chelsea have broke rules left, right, and centre. How does it make you feel? Does it anger you? Because it pisses me off a little bit, if I'm being honest.
I find it quite funny, to be honest. I think that it's just, people are just being ridiculously jealous of Tottenham and what they're about to do. So I think a lot of it is bitter. It does make me angry that when you get people seem to be, saying that we are worse than people like Man City and Chelsea. And, Tottenham have basically explained for other clubs how to get a pathway for how to do it properly. And, Man City, Chelsea are both clubs that have cheated the system. Tottenham have done it all right. But Tottenham are the ones that are in the firing line. And I think that's disgraceful. But I think you just have to laugh at it, really, just because it comes from a place of jealousy.
It does. I mean, when you're hearing Gabby talking the shite, like he talks the other week on talkSPORT Breakfast, where you're saying, oh, they're breaking the rules here. They're breaking the rules here. I mean, that man was shit as a player. And he's no good as a commentator or pundit either. I think he should go and work in a burger van, if I'm being honest. What gets me also is just this narrative that's been put out there, Billy, that we're breaking the rules. And when you look at the Man City thing, that's not been sorted out yet, Billy. Again, it was Simon Jordan the other day with Jim White. They were talking about it might not be sorted out to the end of the decade. So we look at going into a new decade with this. How bad does this look on the Premier League? I mean, they're picking on us, but they've got a bigger issue to deal with, and they won't deal with it.
Yeah, I mean, this has been going on for years now, hasn't it? I mean, those charges go back almost 10 years. So it's disgraceful. It's just going to keep on going that way as well, I'm sure. But, Tottenham have not broken any rules, so we don't have to worry about stuff like that, really. I think the anger should be placed at teams like Man City and Chelsea that benefited from financial doping. Tottenham did it right. And again, like I said, the bitterness about it just comes from a place of jealousy. So I have to, you just have to wonder what on earth is going on when Tottenham are the ones that are questioned rather than Man City or Chelsea that are cheated.
Yeah, and again, it's selective narratism, isn't it? And you look at a Jason Cundy. That man really does my head in when he goes on in the 10 o'clock, right? Jamie O'Hara, I don't mind because at least he sticks up for us, Billy. At least he's up there every week. He speaks the truth about Tottenham, but he sticks up for us. He's a Tottenham ex-Tottenham player, and he doesn't forget where he came from. We all know he moved on to other clubs, but his view is Tottenham gave me my break. I'm gonna back my club. Well, that little bald-headed, apple-looking idiot who sits there and puts on the Ange mask and puts the clown stuff on, right, when Tottenham lose, he started his career at Tottenham. Or does he not? Does he not remember that? And look, for me, Billy, I think if once you play for a club, you should somehow have that respect for that club to sort of, be nice about that football club. You don't have to support them, but have that bit of decency to a bit of respect. People like him do not respect. And then he's talking shite about Chelsea, who are the biggest cheaters in the world, by the way. I mean, should media companies like talkSPORT or like the BBC or even like Sky, should they be more hardlined on their presenters that, look, if you go on, you're going to have to be diplomatic. If you want to be a comedian, go out and do a stand-up show. Go to the O2 and do a one-man show yourself. But when you're on air, you have to be diplomatic. It's like us coming on here, isn't it, Billy? We're Tottenham supporters, but we feel we're very fair and diplomatic about other clubs. Should talkSPORT be looking at some of their presenters and hang on, this is going over the line now?
To be honest with you, I don't think they'll care one bit, unfortunately. You know, they're just all about generating as much phone revenue and as much money as possible. And they'll just keep going until they get that. So, unfortunately, they just don't care. They really don't. They don't, you know, as long as Jason Cundy is getting the most views, that's all they really care about. And it's unfortunate that, you know, there isn't a level of decency about talkSPORT like you might find it somewhere, for example, like Sky Sports News or something like that. But, you know, talkSPORT is just about generating, you know, clicks and views and stuff. They're not really that kind of establishment. So, unfortunately, it's not going to change.
No, it won't, Billy. And it really does tee me up because I like listening to talkSPORT. As I said, I like the breakfast show with Alan Brazil when he's on. He talks an awful lot of sense. I said, Jim White, I've always liked Jim White from his Sky days. Him and Simon Jordan. Now, I may not agree with everything Simon Jordan says, but I do respect his opinion on other things, bar Tottenham. Now, he came out the other day when he was in America and saying to give this all big mirage. Tonali won't come to Tottenham. Why would he want to go there? The owners don't know what they're doing. I just feel, again, the disrespect for our football club is absolutely deafening. And the media as well. I mean, is this I don't mean to bring him into it, but is this sort of our own making a little bit from where we've been under Daniel Levy, not spending the big money, trying to do the prudent way, making stupid decisions last season, like not sacking Thomas Frank early enough, not bringing in De Zerbi early enough. Do we give these people that are, I will say, that are on talkSPORT, do we give them a little bit of too much ammunition? And if you look at a Man City, you look at United, or you look at Liverpool, they're very good at what they do. You know, do we give these? I think we give these people too much ammunition at times. And I don't know how you feel about that, but that's how I see it.
I think that's definitely been true over the last few years, without a doubt. I mean, we nearly got relegated, for God's sake. And, you know, the way that we operated under Daniel Levy in particular has been difficult because, you know, we've always spoken a good game but never actually acted on it. So I can definitely see, you know, why we're quite easy to take the mick out of, aren't we, Tottenham? Or we definitely have been recently. So I can definitely understand that. I think, in particular, you know, Daniel Levy was quite a prickly character as well. He rubbed people up the wrong way. Obviously, Simon Jordan defends him at all costs because he loves him. But Daniel Levy has never really been popular in the media other than that. So I can understand, you know. And if you look at Tottenham, have never really been acted like a serious football club. So you can understand why we're sort of low-hanging fruit for people to take the piss out of. But now, hopefully, when things will be different, like the same used to happen with Arsenal. You know, Arsenal used to be the butt of everyone's jokes last few years, AFTV and all that stuff, and then suddenly they start winning things, and that joke goes away. And now, no one's laughing at Arsenal at the moment. So we have to take it upon ourselves, I think, to really prove these guys wrong.
Yeah, we do. But look, just very quickly on the owners as well. I think that I said it last night. I will stand by this. It's not just this summer, Billy. It's what they do in January. It's what they do moving forward. And when you do look on YouTube and it says a clip there, you see like Jason Gunning putting on the Ange mask, and like we were terrible last season. No question about it. We were dreadful. And I think we were right to be a butt of people's jokes, the way we were acting. And I think you're spot on there. But it didn't make me angry. It just got me to a point when you see the Ange mask and genuinely just taking the mickey out of our motto as well. I mean, Tottenham is a massive club. People don't see that, but we are a massive football club with a massive history, with great players that have come through our club before. You go all the way back to Danny Blanchflower or Jimmy Greaves or Martin Shivers, or you know, you had Archibald and Crooks and Graham Roberts and Paul Miller and players that have followed them generations, Billy, and the players you've seen growing up, the players I saw growing up. And Other teams don't get this Mickey taken out of them. United dropped 300 million last year. Not an eye was battered at it. Liverpool, 400 million. Not an eye was battered at it. We come out full gun blazing because we nearly got relegated. The owners had to act. You know, the fans were unhappy. You did your tiny little bit. And as I said, it was a big pie that where we've got to here. 97% was because, or 98% because we nearly got relegated. The rest of it is you can feel the other 1 or 2% of what you guys did with the unveiling of the banners, fans staying away, you know, the team not good enough, the decision making wasn't good enough. So it's like we're giving these comedians all the ammunition they need to shoot at us. But nobody's taking the piss out of Man City about them cheating. Nobody's taking the piss out of Manchester United. They haven't bought anyone this year. They said, oh, don't worry, guys, that they'll be fine. But it's okay. Have a go at Tottenham. Have a go at us. We're breaking the rules, are we? Well, why don't you do your research before you start spouting out a load of rubbish and actually figure out we haven't broken the rules? And that Gabby, he's the one that really irritates me the most, Billy. He sits there thinking he's buttermilk belt in his mouth. He thinks Villa are a better team. Villa are financially, aren't they, a lot worse than what Tottenham are? They're in serious problem with FFP, serious problem with the Europe as well. Wouldn't it be better just concentrate on his own club and just keep Tottenham basically as who's that fella at Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? What's his name?
Will Smith.
Will Smith. Just keep Tottenham out of your mouth. Do you know what I mean? Seriously, wouldn't it be better just concentrate on his own fucking team?
Yeah, definitely. But, you know, again, it's just he's so trying to get attention at the moment, and Tottenham are. And people are doing this because they're scared of Tottenham or are about to achieve, I believe. I think that, you know, Aston Villa in particular, a team that have finished above us the last 2 seasons, but now we haven't really been serious. But now they're probably one looking over their shoulder thinking, oh, God, the last thing we need is Tottenham to start spending again. So, it's coming from a place of fear, I think. A lot of these people are scared of what Tottenham are about to do. And to be honest, I can't wait to actually prove these guys on the pitch because that's the next step that we need to do.
Yeah, I can't wait to see Cundy's little round apple head, right, sitting there, and O'Hara giving it to him, you know, because he deserves it. I can't wait to have these Tottenham shove every word that Gabby said about it down his throat, and I can't wait for Simon Jordan to come out. Do you know what? I was wrong. I was wrong about these owners.
I don't think Simon Jordan will ever do that, sadly. Unfortunately.
Believe me, get me in the room with him. He made it. I mean, I want to contract in his now, Billy, right? And what he said, the Spurs owners do not know what they're doing, right? We've got no love for these owners, right? We have no love for the owners of our football club. You and me are both from the same thing and that. If we could get new owners tomorrow, yes, please. Sometimes it's better the devil you do than don't. I think I've got that the right way around. But if it was put down to it, we want new owners, Billy. And we both want to get these out of this football club. But they do have a plan, don't they? And it was said at the end of last season, even said in the press conference, and I watched the Zerbi's press conference after the Everton game, we start tonight planning for next season. How insulting is that to people that are genuinely hardworking within Tottenham, that do all these transfers, that get these deals over the line, that do work hard and do have a plan? That's very insulting to us. And on the owner bit of it, you do have to have a plan, don't you? You can't just do this by the I don't know, just ring up one day, okay, we'll pay you 85 million. There's a lot of planning goes into this, doesn't there? And I think it's a little bit unfair that we're doing this willy-nilly. I think that's, again, it's insulting to us. And again, you're right, it's jealous, but these owners seem to know what they're doing at the moment. Or am I getting a bit ahead of myself?
No, I don't think so. I think you're being exactly correct. And, you know, I think at the moment, you know, things are looking different. And again, people are sort of using the old Tottenham and the old things that we've done to sort of go against that. But it's a new era now, so and that's what we've got to remember. So I think people are slating us using the old Tottenham and what's happened in the past, but it's a new era now.
It is a new era, Billy. You are right, and you do look at it right, and you do look at what we've done in the past. And yes, reputation does go before people. You could be like your job and what you do. You're probably very good at your job, and so your reputation of being good at your job when you're going for a new one. Oh yes, we know you, Billy. You're very good at doing what you're doing. Your reputation precedes you a little bit, and I just feel Tottenham's reputation of not doing enough in previous seasons and not doing enough and not buying anyone in certain windows does precede them a little bit. But I think it's very unfair to say that they don't know what they're doing. And I think also this narrative of we must defend a person who can't defend himself. I am sure Daniel Levy is not that. He's got more backbone. He can defend himself. So why does he need somebody to be his mouthpiece sort of thing? And again, isn't it, Billy? It's about the narrative from football. It's about the narrative about the Big Six. It's about the narrative of other clubs as well. And especially with talkSPORT, I think they are so biased when it comes to the top six. I think I only know one presenter on there. I think it's Hawksby and Jacob. And he was talking about Romero, and he was very passionate about Romero should leave the football club. He don't want him as captain. And he's very much about the owners. They need to go and all this. But do you think medias today is different from the medias of the past, Billy, where it's more like you can't be a Jeremy Clarkson, if you know what I mean, and do what he did? I don't know. Where's he gone? Maybe talkSPORT have got to my internet and got Billy out. But, all right, so I carry on anyway. I think media is different today than it has been over the, say, last 15, 20 years. But for me, it's just the hypocrisy of it all. And that they are being, some of these people on talkSPORT are being hypocrites. Because you cannot, if you do something wrong, you're entitled to be told off and you're entitled to be slagged off. You're entitled to be told you're not good at your job. But when you do something well, I think also in the different hand of that, you're entitled to say, do you know what? If you've done a good job, well done. But talkSPORT are hypocrites because even when Tottenham do good stuff, and we did get Tonali over the line, we did get Fernandes over the line. You know, again, it's the same thing. Oh, well, they finished 17th twice. How can they spend this much money? Well, do your research. We can. Before you start talking absolute garbage. And it really gets to me. It really does. And it makes me angry. It upsets me. And I just think talkSPORT are better than that. As a radio station, they have some really good presenters on there. But they are let down by 3 or 4, maybe 5 Muppets that all they want to do is shite on about their agenda. And their agenda is to slag Tottenham as much as they can and take the piss out of Tottenham as much as they can and wear stupid masks and wear clown outfits. If you want to be a comedian, do a one-man show. If you want to run a radio station, run that. But be balanced in your argument. Be absolutely, if you're gonna slate Tottenham, be constructive criticism instead of wearing a clown outfit and taking the piss out of our motto. You don't do that to Manchester United. You don't do that to other clubs. And then you got Gobridge of the United, whatever it's called, right? Sitting there throwing his toys out the pram because they didn't go and buy Tonali or Fernandes. Well, tough shit. Tottenham paid the money. We had the money. They wanted to come to us. Why? Because we're a massive club. We're Tottenham Hotspur are a massive club. Not anybody else can tell me any difference to that. And just because we finished 17th twice in 2 seasons, yes, we did get it wrong. Yes, we didn't make the right transfer calls. Yes, we didn't make the right calls on the managers. Yes, should we have kept Ange? Maybe we should have kept Ange after we won the Europa League to keep the consistency going. Should we have bought better players on the previous managers? Hell yeah, we should have done. But we can't do anything about that, nor could these numpties do anything about it. Now the owners are saying, right, okay, we're going to have to do something about it now. So we're going to go out and buy A, B, C, D, and E. We're going to build a better squad. Do you know what? And some of the narratives I've heard coming out of talkSPORT has been absolutely head-scratching. And some of the stuff I've seen on YouTube as well, other YouTubers coming out of other teams. Oh, Tottenham, how could Tottenham be spending this money? I read it again. I mean, it's not rocket science. I mean, I've got no education. I haven't. Mrs. Tron's got the degree. I don't. And even Tick Me, who's a tick short fat Irishman, can understand this. And you've got these bigger YouTube channels with millions of subscribers, can't get their tiny little brains around this. I mean, it's not difficult. It's not hard. You don't have to go to university for 3 years to work this out. It's there in front of you. Read it. Jesus, I mean, it's not difficult. I mean, I read it again for the people that don't, for these other fans that can't get their heads around it. You know, I will speak slower. If you need me to speak slower, I will do. They spent too little for quite a long time. Yeah, we didn't spend anything. So it's sitting in our bank account, growing and growing and getting good interest on it. Got to the point where they were underspending. Yeah, we were underspending. Couldn't even buy proper toilet lids for the toilets. They were trying to go down to, I don't know. We've got a shop over here called Deals. So I don't know what that's in England, your £1 shop. That's where probably Tottenham went down to board the lids for the toilets in the £1 store. Look, we've got loads of capacity. We've got 85% cap on our whatever our revenue is on wages, non-player wages. Even on another channel from the Football Takeover, Bobby was saying that we may have a bit of a little bit of a headache next season for getting to Europe. But yeah, so what? So absolute what? Do you know, for once, can the media just get off our back and just give us the credit we deserve? And if we have to go and win the Premier League or qualify for the Champions League, me and Billy are going to sit here in next May, and the guys in this channel with Jess and probably Stacey as well, because I know they do a lot with Tottenham as well, and they're big supporters of this channel. And everyone do get over to JS Way, talkSPORT. And after this, do the redirect over there, guys, if you can, because they do some great work over there. Me and Billy can sit here with smug faces on our faces, a bit like Jeremy Clarkson on Top Gear, and go, we'll put up a sign and say, we told you so. And I think that's the sweetest bit of it all, isn't it, Billy? That when we prove all these idiots wrong, and when Tottenham do qualify for the Champions League, or if we win a cup next season under De Zerbi, the satisfaction of saying to them lot, we told you, I think it's the better feeling, isn't it, than anything else. Yeah, I do think talkSPORT have got to Billy's internet. I think. I don't think he's moving.
Did you hear from Sal?
So look, I'll take Billy out. He's gone again. I swear talkSPORT have got to yeah. I'm going to report to talk. Have got to it. Oh, that's funny. Big up, Billy. But that, do you know what I mean? It just gets to me that the narrative of the media, it's so led by numbers, and it's so led by different people. It's and talkSPORT's the worst for it. It really is. As I said, I listen to Simon Jordan. I don't agree with everything he says, but I do like the way he puts it across. I've always liked Jim White. I like him as a presenter. I don't mind Alan Brazil, but Jason Cundy, fucking that Rory Jennings, another one that needs to go away and, you know, work in Australia. And who's the other one? Oh, and that Gabby. Please just concentrate your own clubs. Don't worry about us. Do you know, we're doing what we need to do. We're doing what we have to do. We have to spend money to build this club and to build this squad into a better squad. Do you know? And if you are jealous, then, do you know, tough cookies. But at the end of the day, show us some respect. We deserve the respect. We're a massive football club with a massive history. Do you know? We've done a lot of first things first at this football club. We were the first team to win the FA Cup as a non-league side. Did Chelsea do that? No. Did Man United do that? No. We did it. We were the first team to win the double in the last century. You know, and why shouldn't players come to Tottenham? Why should a player come to Tottenham? Because we're offering him the best wages. We're offering him the best project. Come to Tottenham and come in our sort of our rebirth of this great club coming up again and coming up to the heights of being successful and challenging for stuff. And the likes of Fernandes and Tonali as well, Billy, and the likes of, we could be going for Savinho, there's other players we've been linked with. We can spend even more money this summer. I just think we're going to shock a lot of people next season. And like you and myself, we're both buzzing, aren't we, for it? Yeah, I think Billy's laptop has firmly got talkSPORT. They have got his internet. Yeah, I don't. Let me know when you get working, Billy. I'll bring you in if I see you moving. Big up Troy Deeney's another media muppet. Yeah, totally agree, Giant. Yeah, big up the son. He's 34 today, an absolute legend of the football club. Him and Kane. Wow, what a pairing. The best pairing in our history. Big up to Spurs 1264 Spurs. What's that, Dermot? Yeah, absolutely. Big up to the mum overlord. She's looking. Hello, what's going on here? Hello. Yeah, she's peeping. She's peeping behind the corner. And there's another club that doesn't get the respect it deserves. Leeds as well within the media as well, by the way. I think they should get a lot more respect. And the papers as well, and it's just really annoys me. And I like talkSPORT. It does good stuff, but it has Muppets working for it. Can they please just sort it out? And please, if Jason Cundy wants to be a comedian, go and do a one-man show. Don't sit there and be rude. And he's rude as well. When callers come in, he's damn rude to people with the slaps and the music. I don't find it enjoyable. I don't watch it. I don't watch his so-called thing. I may have done last season, but this season I'm not going to watch it because I don't find it funny. I find it insulting, and I find he's being rude, and I just find that the whole thing is just wrong. And as Billy said earlier, it's all about numbers. It's all about clickbait. It's all about let's get the best numbers for this show. It's not particularly a good show anyway. I mean, if it was left to Jamie O'Hara, when Jamie O'Hara does it with Dean Saunders or somebody else, it does become a good show because there's debate and there's an honest debate about it. And with him, you couldn't debate Jason Cundy. Jason Cundy wouldn't know how to debate himself out of a paper bag if he was put in one. And then you got that Gabby who sits in the morning and talks absolute wobbish. Oh, whatever. I don't even think rubbish is a nice word. It's a right word for him because he speaks absolute shite. I just think they could do so much better with better presenters. But this anti-Tottenham stuff has really got, and it started at talkSPORT, and that's where it starts from. It starts from there, and it's okay. If they're doing it, then we can all do it. Well, fine. Keep doing it. We're going to prove you wrong. We're going to come out swinging at the start of the season, and let you see when we do well next season, when we qualify for Europe, and when we do well in one of the cups, and De Zerbi gets us back in the Champions League, because I think we can finish in the Champions League. Let's see you all come out at the end of next season. You know, will you be all nice to Tottenham then? Because we don't want your sympathy. We don't want your congratulations. You're just a bunch of hypocrites, the lot of you. And on that bombshell, I'm going to leave it there. I don't like doing these rants. It's just something. What made me wanted to do this show, right, was I was watching a clip on talkSPORT, and it was, I think it was Jason Conte say something, and then we're hearing Simon Jordan, who I do have a respect for, by the way. I do like him. I do like listening to him. I do like, he does talks an awful lot of sense on other subjects. Yes, he does defend Daniel Levy a little too much, though he says, I'm not here to defend Daniel Levy, but I will defend somebody who can't defend himself. Daniel Levy could come out and defend himself quite easy. So I don't think he needs a mouthpiece, right? But I do respect half the things he said. I've said it to people like Tequila and people like that. We've sort of got topics from that. And I always enjoy watching Jim White and Simon Jordan. Anyway, Martin Keown's another idiot that needs to go away and think hard and long about what he says, because some of the sin comes out of his gob is an absolute rubbish. And it's just this bit. We've done nothing wrong. We're entitled to spend money. We've got money to spend. It's like Liverpool spending last year 400 million. They're entitled to do it because they got the money there. And they're entitled to go and improve their squad. They're entitled to go and buy that. United, when they didn't have Champions League, spent 350 million on 3 players, improved their squad, got into Champions League football. Liverpool did a bit of business, won the league. Okay, it didn't work for them last season. But I tell you one thing, Liverpool were there and thereabouts this season with the players they bought, with a better manager. Teams that work within the rules are entitled to spend money. So if anyone from talkSPORT is watching this, can you please just concentrate on the cheating clubs and leave the clubs that are doing this legally, properly, and by the book? Just say, do you know what? Fair play to Tottenham. Fair play. They're spending the money. They're improving their squad, and we can see where they land next season. Instead of all this narrative of they don't know what they're doing. Oh, and how are Tottenham able to spend this much? They finished 17th twice. This can't be possible. What they're doing. Just read the rules, Gabby, before you open your gob. Do you know? If I have to send you this so you can read it, please let me know. My email's in the description below. Do you know? I've just had enough of it. But I don't like doing these videos. I don't like giving out. I did enough of that last season for Tottenham. I don't want to start this season doing the same, but it's just something that's really sort of bubbled up in me, and I just had to get off my chest. So guys, yeah, if you have enjoyed this show, please hit the like, please hit the subscribe if you can. And also, we've got more shows coming up tomorrow. It's Thursday, 2 o'clock. We've got the Irish lads talk football, me and Dave Harris talking everything about Spurs. And then at 6 o'clock, it's the podcast with me, Jess, Stacey, and Nick, the Fans Perspective podcast at 6 o'clock, where we talk everything World Cup, Premier League, everything. We will be talking about a lot about the World Cup and the scenes that have gone on over the last week in the World Cup as well. Do follow Billy on Twitter as well. On X, I'm Billy.T. If you can, that'd be great. Follow us over there as well, all on our social medias. But yeah, let's hit the subscribe button here. I want to get up to 3K as quickly as I can. If you can do that for me, thank you very much. And if Jess is still on, I'm redirecting over to Jess Why Talks Football. Do go over there and show them some love and get a subscribe in their channel. Let's get them over 20K. Let's get them to 25K before the start of the season. If we can do that, I'd be really grateful. Absolute great guys over there, and I enjoy. We're collabing a lot this season, so I'm looking forward to teaming up with them. Guys, thank you all for watching. Come on, you Spurs. And mighty De Zerbi we trust.